He left for a bachelor party while I was healing. Then I found out he hired a prostitute. While I was recovering from childbirth and caring for a newborn, my husband said he was just going to a bachelor party. What I found out later completely changed my life. So yeah, I'm 33 now, and my husband, let's call him Eric, is 36. We've been married for 6 years and together for 8. We've got 2 kids, a little girl, Mia, who just turned 3, and our newest addition, Leo, who's barely 2 months old. 2 months. I mean, I'm still spotting sometimes. My hormones are shot, and I haven't slept more than a couple hours in a row since we brought him home. I've basically been running the whole show with Leo, while Eric's been, well, giving me space, as he puts it, which is code for he's either glued to his Xbox with noise-canceling headphones on, or suddenly busy with mysterious errands outside the house. Feels like all that started forever ago. Eric? He was fine, I guess. Never the hands-on kind of dad. Not big on cuddles or diaper duty. But I used to think he was solid. Held a decent job. Always pitched in on the bills. Made me laugh now and then. I figured that was enough. Turns out I was kidding myself. He's always had this streak of selfishness. Not in your face rude or anything. Just lazy. Around the house, at least. But I kept picking up the slack like it was normal. Like that's what being a partner meant. What I didn't see back then was that I was just enabling someone who took advantage of me. The pregnancy with Leo was brutal. I had morning sickness for way longer than normal, well into month 5. Then the back pain kicked in, this nerve thing in my leg that made walking a nightmare. And labor? That was a whole ordeal. Nearly ended up needing a C-section. And once you're home, it's nonstop. A screaming newborn in one arm, a toddler needing attention in the other, and your whole body feeling like it just got hit by a truck. I was drained, physically and emotionally, and felt like I was in it completely alone. Eric? He'd give me a quick shoulder pat and mumble, "You're doing amazing, babe." Then poof, he'd vanish again. About 6 weeks after giving birth, he drops this bomb. He's heading out of state for 3 days to go to his college buddy's bachelor party. "I'm the best man," he said, like that made it reasonable. My brain went straight to, "Are you freaking serious right now?" I hadn't had a solid night's sleep in nearly 2 months. I was living in spit-up stained clothes, running on fumes, and Mia was having tantrums left and right from the chaos of having a new sibling. "Now you want to jet off and party? Seriously?" Eric just shrugged. "It's Adam. I've known him forever. This has been on the calendar for months. So was Leo's due date. 9 months ago. I needed support." He goes, "My mom can swing by. You'll be fine. It's just for a few days. I really need this." I'm stressed too. Stressed from what exactly? Dodging diaper changes? He went, obviously. I didn't even have the energy to fight him on it properly. His mom did pop in for a few hours once, but that was more stressful than helpful. She nitpicked my cleaning and said I was coddling Leo too much by holding him so often. When Eric got back, he walked in all smiles, acting like he'd missed us so much. But something felt off. He was weird with his phone, kept it screen down on the table, angled it away whenever I passed behind him, and got defensive over basic questions. I'd ask about the trip, and he'd just say, "It was guy stuff. You wouldn't get it." Then the mood shift started. If I got emotional, which, hello, I just gave birth, he'd say I was being dramatic, hormonal, irrational. If I mentioned how overwhelmed I felt, he'd sigh like I was annoying him. "Can't I just get some peace after work?" Then he started nitpicking everything. The house wasn't clean enough. Dinner wasn't what he wanted. And apparently, I was letting myself go. From the same guy whose biggest parenting contribution was yelling about the noise level. But the phone thing, that kept bugging me. He even took it into the bathroom, like, every time, including showers. One night, I just came out and asked, "Eric, is there something on your phone you don't want me to see?" He acted all outraged. "What kind of question is that?" "Of course not." "Then show me." "No way. That's my privacy. Why are you being paranoid?" "You sound crazy." "Right. Because a wife noticing a stack of red flags is just crazy, not concerned." I told him, "I'm not nuts. I'm just seeing a husband who acts like his phone is top secret ever since he got back from a guy's weekend." He told me to calm down, said it was just my hormones making me suspicious, that there was nothing going on. But I knew better. Something was up. It was pure gaslighting. Eric twisted things so much, I honestly started to think I was losing it. Maybe I was being too emotional. Maybe the sleepless nights were making me paranoid. But then, about 2 weeks after he got back from that bachelor trip, I got a Facebook message request from someone I didn't recognize, a woman. The message was short. Just, You might want to see this." Attached was a photo. It was Eric, at a nightclub, strobe lights flashing, arms wrapped tight around some blonde woman, his face buried in her neck, her hands gripping his backside like they were 2 seconds away from going at it on the dance floor. It was not some friendly hug. And the kicker? I recognized the shirt he was wearing. I'd picked it out for his birthday just a few months earlier. Turns out the woman who messaged me was the girlfriend of another guy who had been on the trip. Her boyfriend drunkenly showed her photos from the night, and she felt I deserved to know the truth. One of Eric's own friends took that picture. I waited until Noah was finally asleep in the bassinet, and Mia had gone down for the night. Eric was glued to the couch, headset on, playing some online game like nothing in the world could touch him. I walked up and just stood there until he noticed. He pulled off his headphones and blinked at me. "What's up?" I didn't say a word, just airdropped the photo to his phone and watched his face as it popped up. First came confusion, then shock, and finally, his whole face caved in, like he realized the walls were about to collapse. He looked up at me, wide-eyed. "Where did you get that? Does it matter?" I asked. "Is that you, Eric? Is that some random woman you were basically dry humping while I was here, leaking milk and barely surviving?" "Babe, it's not what it looks like. We were all drunk. Just some stupid dancing." "Dancing?" I shot back. "You look like you were ready to sleep with her right there in front of the DJ booth. So what happened after the dancing, huh?" He didn't respond, just stared down at his hands like they had answers. I pushed again. "Did you sleep with her?" Silence. "Eric," I said louder. "Did you sleep with her?" Finally, in a whisper, he muttered, "Yeah. Okay. Yes. I was drunk. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. A mistake. Meaningless. While I was healing from childbirth. While I was raising our 2 children basically alone. And I wasn't just mad. I was destroyed. You lied to me. You looked me in the eye and made me think I was going crazy. You let me suffer, Eric. I didn't want to hurt you," he said. "Well," I snapped, "you failed miserably." The fight that followed was ugly. He blamed the booze, blamed his friends hyping him up, even tried to blame me, said I'd been distant since the baby. That was it. I saw red. I remember yelling loud. I probably screamed things I don't even remember. At one point, he reached for my arm like he wanted me to calm down, and I slapped his hand away so hard my palm stung. I didn't sleep that night, just sat on the floor of the nursery with Leo in my arms, watching Mia breathe on the baby monitor. My life had just been shredded. The man I married, the father of my children, wasn't just a liar. He was a deceiver and a coward. By morning, I was packing. Eric was a mess, crying, begging. "Please, don't do this," he kept saying. "We can fix it. I'll change. I swear." "No," I told him. "You did this. You shattered everything. And there's no fixing it." He followed me from room to room like a ghost, whining, pleading, still thinking he could talk his way out of it. I called my sister sobbing, told her I needed to leave. She didn't ask questions, just said, "I'm coming." Leaving was a blur of chaos. Trying to pack for me, a toddler, and a 2-month-old while Eric hovered, getting in the way. One minute he was trying to help, the next minute screaming that I was blowing up our family. Then my sister arrived like a rescue squad. She didn't say a word to Eric, just walked in, took one look at my face, and started loading bags into the car. Her silence hit harder than any insult ever could. The last image I had of Eric was him standing in the front doorway, looking completely lost, like a little boy who finally realized the damage he caused. The weeks that followed were a haze. My sister's place isn't big, but she made it work. I cried a lot. I felt furious, then numb. Breastfeeding, while trying not to fall apart from stress, is its own form of torture. Mia kept asking when we were going home, when she'd see her daddy. That broke me over and over. My parents eventually came around. They were shocked, but supportive in their own way, which mostly meant trash-talking Eric nonstop. Honestly, it helped. I cut off all contact with him. He bombarded my phone at first. Texts, missed calls, voicemails. Everything from, "I love you," and "I'm messed up," to "You're being cruel," and "You're keeping my kids from me." I blocked him. All communication had to go through my sister. That was a month ago. I've been trying to find some rhythm again. Looking into daycare for Leo, planning a return to work, hunting for an apartment. Then 3 days ago, I got a call from Eric's mom, Ruby. She was sobbing. "Eric's sick. Really sick. He'd been feeling off for weeks and finally went to the doctor. Got some blood work done. The results? He's HIV positive. Not from the woman in the photo. From a prostitute he hired after the club. Turns out, Eric and a couple of the guys went out again that night. this time, paid for sex. And the one he slept with? She left him with more than just guilt. So no, it wasn't a one-time slip. It was multiple times in one night, with strangers. And he kept all of it hidden from me. Now his whole family is reaching out. His mom, his dad, his brothers and sisters. They're all saying the same thing. He's terrified. He's broken. He needs support. He's your husband, they say. You promised to be there in sickness and in health, right? But they forgot the part where he deceived me, lied to me, and nearly ruined my life. After everything came out, I knew I had to act fast. The first thing I did was book a full panel of blood tests for myself and the kids. I took Leo in with me the morning after I found out about Eric's diagnosis. Even though the doctor said Mia's risk was practically non-existent unless I'd already been infected during pregnancy or delivery, I still couldn't shake the fear. The days waiting for the results were torture. I couldn't sleep. Every tiny tingle or warm flush made me panic. I'd convinced myself I felt a fever coming on or that I was itching. My sister literally had to pull my phone out of my hands to stop me from spiraling through every symptom list on the internet. While I was waiting for those results, I sat down with a divorce attorney. I told her everything, every ugly, humiliating, terrifying detail. She was calm, professional, and horrified. She explained the process, and we started building my case immediately. She told me to cut off all direct communication and make sure every interaction with Eric or his family was documented or rerouted through her office. Once my test results came in, thank God, all of them negative, I knew I needed to shut down the pressure coming from his side of the family. The doctor told me I was in the clear. So were Mia and Leo. I broke down crying right there in the office. I hadn't even realized how tightly I'd been holding all that fear in until it all just came flooding out. After that, my sister called Eric's mom on my behalf. My lawyer had advised it, keep it calm, make it clear, the harassment had to stop, and official proceedings had begun. My sister's better at that stuff. I knew if I got on the phone, I'd either scream or sob, and neither would help anything. As expected, Nora didn't take it well. Somehow, she got a hold of the temporary number I was using and left me a voicemail that could have soured milk. So that's it. He gets sick and you just toss him aside like garbage? After everything he gave you, a home, children? I hope you're happy when he's all alone and suffering. You'll have to live with this. He's your husband. I forwarded the voicemail to my lawyer, who just raised an eyebrow and said, save it. Since then, the rest of his family's gone quiet. I'm guessing they're regrouping, probably plotting their next emotional ambush. Eric, of course, hasn't stopped trying to reach me. He's still blocked everywhere, but I hear things, through his mother, through mutual contacts. But need me for what, exactly? To take care of him when he gets too sick to function? To be his emotional outlet while he slowly falls apart? To be the one who picks up the pieces he smashed himself? No. I'm done. My lawyer's sending him the divorce papers next week, official separation and everything spelled out. And despite how hard this all has been, I feel lighter. I'm still bracing for what's ahead. I know it won't be pretty. His family will probably try to smear my name all over the place. Eric will cry and play the victim. Maybe even try to paint me as the cold-hearted ex who abandoned him. But I've got my kids. We're safe. We're healthy. And I've got an attorney who doesn't flinch. That alone is more strength than I had a month ago. Thanks for listening again. I'll keep you posted if anything major happens, but God, I hope things finally get boring for a while. Peace would be the nicest thing right now. My lawyer barely held back a laugh when they tried to make their case in court. Then she calmly laid out everything, Eric's deception, the risk he posed to both kids, and the fact that this man, at nearly 40, had changed maybe 2 diapers his entire life. He was no caregiver, never had been. Thankfully, the judge saw through the charade. I was awarded full physical custody. Eric gets supervised visitation with Mia at a designated family center. Leo's still too little, and honestly, I don't feel safe trusting Eric with an infant. Those visits are contingent on him keeping up with his medical treatment and proving he's stable enough to be around the kids. So far, he's only shown up for a handful of those sessions, usually cancels last minute, saying he doesn't feel up to it. When it came to finances, his team argued that he shouldn't have to pay much, if anything, in child support or spousal assistance because of his health issues and reduced income. But again, my lawyer didn't flinch. She made it clear his condition wasn't random bad luck. It was a direct result of his own choices. His actions, his infidelity, led to this mess. He was fully capable of working before he burned everything down. The final settlement wasn't huge, but it was fair. Enough for me to get a solid start with the kids and stay afloat. One small victory? He had to sell that car he used to treat like a shrine. I won't lie, that felt good. Eric's mom, Nora didn't back off easily. She kept up the harassment for a while, snide texts, calling my parents to guilt-trip them, even leaving nasty little comments on my sister's Facebook. My lawyer had to send another cease and desist, this one a bit sharper, hinting at potential harassment charges. That finally made them pause. We still live in the same general area, unfortunately, and while I haven't heard from them directly in a while, I know they're still bitter. From what I gather, Nora can't stand the sight of me. That's fine. I sleep just fine knowing I don't have to deal with their chaos anymore. As for Eric, well, his life's unraveling. The physical stuff is rough. He's been in and out of clinics dealing with side effects from the medication, and he's sick more often than not. But honestly, the emotional fallout is hitting him even harder. Most of his old friends, including the guys from that Bachelor trip, have cut him off. Word got around about the whole story about the prostitute, the diagnosis. And just like that, the bros vanished. I guess the code doesn't extend to life-altering consequences. Even Scott, the groom from that trip, is apparently furious with him for the mess he stirred up. Eric eventually lost his job, too. Not directly because of his diagnosis. Legally, they can't fire him for that. But he missed so much time, his performance tanked, and eventually they found cause. He's staying with his parents now. His worst fear about losing his income came true, but only because he made it so. And yes, Nora still tries to send messages through other people. Every now and then, I'll hear she's saying I should be more forgiving, that I should show grace, or be a good Christian. My response? I find the delete button. As for me and the kids, this part's been the most difficult, but somehow also the most healing. Starting over as a solo mom to a toddler and a baby isn't easy. I'm tired every day, but it's a different kind of tired now. There's no dread, no walking on eggshells, no waiting for the next emotional punch. We found a cozy little apartment. Mia has her own tiny room filled with fairy lights and books. Leo's crib is still in my room, close to me. It's peaceful. Mia asks about her dad now and then. I don't lie to her. I tell her, in ways she can understand, Daddy made some really big mistakes, and he's sick, so he can't live with us right now. It breaks my heart, but I won't sugarcoat reality. She sees him occasionally at the supervised visits. They're fine. Not great. Not traumatic. Just fine. He looks tired and sad, and Mia usually gives him a hug, talks for a bit, then is just as happy to come home with me. Leo's too young to remember any of this, and thank God for that. He's a chubby, happy little guy. Always giggling. Always rolling over. He'll never remember the tension, the shouting, or the pain I went through. I've started picking up freelance work again. It's remote, flexible. I'm even looking into daycare a few hours a week so I can increase my workload. And my support system, my parents and my sister, have been incredible. So, yeah, the divorce is finalized. We're safe. We're okay. Eric is living with the consequences of what he did. His family can judge me all they want. They're not the ones paying rent, buying diapers, or rocking a crying baby at 3 a.m. Am I happy? Not in the everything's sunshine and roses kind of way. I'm still processing. Still mourning the family I thought I had. Still angry some days. But I'm also free, and more at peace than I've felt in years. To everyone who listened, who commented, who reached out when I was drowning in fear and confusion, thank you. Truly, this might be the last time I ever talk about Eric and everything he did. I hope so. I'm ready to shut that chapter for good. We're moving forward. Take care, wherever you are.